HFS Podcast. It's not for children. It's a podcast in which four friends get together and try to amaze each other with facts about the world or how we found out those facts about the world, enough that somebody else on the show will say,
Holy fucking science!
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good.
I just changed voices really dramatically.
Hey,
everyone. I'm very excited about today's episode. We're going to talk about poison, which is like basically anything that... What is a poison, Ceri? I feel like you know the definition.
It's something that you have to ingest or like get into your body in some way. And I think it just messes with your normal metabolism, anything that normally functions in your body.
But you were saying you excluded venoms.
Yeah, because venoms, so poison, if you bite something, it's a poison. If something bites you, it's a venom.
Okay. So it has to if it comes in your mouth or if you breathe it in.
Or if you breathe it in, it's a poison.
But if it's injected into you, it's a venom.
I think so.
So what about like spitting cobras?
That spit on you and then it gets in your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, good,
I don't know.
good point. That's very good. That's very good. We're also joined by Sarah. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You're reflexing your radio muscle, apparently. I didn't know you had previously been on radio.
Yeah, I had a show on KGLT in Bozeman for 9 years.
Whoa.
Yeah,
KGLT,
totally.
the glit.
I guess.
Can we say that on this podcast?
I wonder is there a KLIT? Because back when they were assigning radio call signs, KLIT would probably be like a pretty cool name. Like, it's K-lit. But now it's just clit.
There was a transit system called the South Lake Union Transit in Seattle. But then they started making branding for it and were like, we can't call it the
This
slut.
was a poor decision.
You can't go ride the slut.
K-lit is 99.3 FM. Radio Cristiana is a Spanish-language Christian format radio station serving Laredo, Texas.
Huh. Well, there you go.
So neither K-lit nor clit, I would guess. The shit is lit here in clit. That's what they'd say.
That's what they'd say.
They'd say it in Spanish.
Yeah, and also more about Jesus. Stefan Chin has also joined us.
Hi. I was trying to think of different vowels for the transit system, but none of them are good. None of them are good. They're not as bad, but hi, I work for SciShow.
What were your other vowels?
Well, I mean, so you could do slot.
Right.
But that also sounds, it's just not a good name.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily bad. Like
Slot.
slit is also not great.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But we're talking about poisons, which are apparently things that you eat and that interfere with your bodily functions.
Yeah. Or if a cobra spits in your mouth and you swallow it,
Yeah.
I guess that's a poison.
Or breathe.
Or breathe.
Or-
Yeah, if you breathe in.
Totally.
Is like tear gas a poison?
Yeah.
I think so.
Mustard gas definitely is.
Sure.
I think as long as it gets in your body. Like eyes, if it touches
Yeah.
that's poison.
I feel like everything's a poison though, right? That's what they say. It's not it's the dose.
I feel
Like at the right dose, everything's a poison. Because you can kill yourself with water.
yeah. Or like salt
But that's
water.
drowning. That's
Well,
not water
No.
poisoning.
If you drink too much water.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. And I might
membranes.
talk about it a little bit in mine, but
Well, we don't want to get too close in.
there might be things, and the thing is, I don't actually know if this applies to mine, but could there be things that you could eat so much of that, like, it's not chemically interacting, but that, like, you, like, volumetrically, like, your stomach...
Sure.
Right.
You're not
Mhm.
metabolizing it at all.
Well,
it's
You
just,
just choke to death or something.
Well,
you
one
know,
of the things that I was talking, like Derek Muller was working on those snatoms, those atoms that stick together magnetically.
Those are cool.
I think we probably have some of them on our.
Where are, oh yeah,
they're back there behind us if you're watching on video. And they have little tiny bead magnets in them, but those are really highly regulated actually, because if you eat one and then you wait like an hour and eat another one. One of them will have gotten into your intestines already, and then the other one will be attracted to it.
Oh my
and then it
God.
will pinch through your
I
intestines.
hate that.
That's
So it's
what
like
if you eat a sausage in between?
Don't know, Stefan. Probably if you have some Imodium first, is probably the thing you want to do.
Okay.
To make that
Yeah,
release
how would,
dangerous.
that would just, you'd need to get surgery.
Yeah, and you
Oh.
do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they have to cut you open.
that's horrible.
It's bad.
But also just like
Don't eat magnets.
don't eat magnets. But that's not a poison. Because it's not interfering
Yeah.
with your
Right.
bodily
Yeah.
as like with your metabolism. It's just
Yeah.
like
So
that's
it's just
the
like
thing.
basically getting shot but on the inside with a very small
Mhm.
BB. It's
Yeah.
like somebody
That
shooting
you
a
put
BB
there.
gun in your intestines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do
Mm.
that. Don't
Yeah.
eat a thumbtack either. Just
Yes.
don't, things
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
things to
A lot
not
of
do.
things. We're just gonna list things you shouldn't eat.
Yeah,
today.
I mean,
this episode is holy fucking science. Don't eat. What else? Anybody else? Shoes?
I mean, really sausage. I mean,
Glass,
you really shouldn't be
broken
eating
glass.
sausage.
No, sausage is great.
It's
there was just a
delicious.
new
I mean-
study. Fat's good for you. Carbs
That's
are
good.
out.
Processed meat, though, still the jury's still
That's
out.
it. That's the one nutrition study. It's law now.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in that world for a long time.
The
I read
sausage
a lot of
world?
bodybuilding
I know you do.
literature.
Uh-huh.
They've been talking about the low carb stuff for a while,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully you're not
sausage-
watching because
I just bought 8 hot dog buns for a Dear Hank and John bit, and now I'm like, I need to buy a bunch of hot dogs because I went
yeah.
home and I was like, I just put up like some slices of turkey in one, and I was like, yeah, that was okay, but I should get some hot dogs.
Mhm.
But now I only have 7 buns, and the hot dogs come in a pack of 8.
At least you only bought
It's
a
a
normal
disaster.
size hot dog. If you go to Costco, you have to buy 36.
That was my mistake. I have
Whoa.
like
And
20
then
hot
you're
dog
like,
buns now.
I'm coming over. I need your hot
If you
dogs.
eat 36 hot dogs, you are done with hot dogs.
I've eaten
It's
8
too
hot
much.
dogs and I'm done
Yeah.
with hot dogs.
Oh well, I
They
need
just
8
have
hot
to
dogs.
get
so
creative.
7.
I can maybe eat one more.
You need to go where the pigeons are.
No.
And just
I don't want to scat the pigeon.
You don't
I
want to
need the
scat
food.
the pigeons?
what does that mean?
I don't want to scatter the hot dogs for the pigeons. I just
Oh.
stopped my own thought
Okay.
halfway through.
Yeah.
I want those hot dogs, but I don't. But more than the pigeons.
Somebody you got to sell them to your roommates. Be
Yeah.
like 50 cents a hot dog.
And the thing is-
Both.
set up a hot dog stand in my own house.
There's a lot of people who live there.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Okay, I have no idea how to choose who goes first.
Who is
Who's
last
listened?
poisoned?
I mean, I'm
Whoa.
literally drinking poison right now, and so is Stefan.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Brought to you
Brought to you
by
Big Sky Brewery, maker of Summer Honey and also Scapegoat. If you
Scapegoat.
have too much, you will die.
Well, that's true.
It's true. I mean, it's not like that. That's
not
really not a
news.
good pitch, but it is true of all alcoholic beverages. Drink responsibly,
Yeah.
which we've never said during our shout out, and we
But-
probably
That's true.
should.
Yeah.
That's true.
Drink responsibly.
Drink
I have
responsibly.
one. I
But
may
they-
have 2 today because I have a headache.
Responsibly
Smoke is so
delicious.
smoky.
Mhm.
Responsibly delicious.
Is that a good
Like
jingle?
Tony the Tiger
Sounds like
says.
a
Yeah.
cereal thing for
No.
kids.
That's it's the Lucky Charms boy.
Lucky
Like
Charms
a
boy?
good boy.
What's his name?
The
Uh,
leprechaun?
They
Lucky.
unmagic
Lucky. Is it just Lucky?
Is it Lucky? Lucky the leprechaun? I want to
Yeah.
say it's Lucky, but maybe it's
Oh,
not.
boy.
The Leprechaun. Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
You gotta turn off your Google.
What? I need to know these things. Anyway, so Stefan and I are simultaneously being poisoned.
that's
Anybody
okay.
else been recently poisoned?
Not that I know.
The smoke is poisoning us
The
all.
smoke
smoke
is
is probably
poisoning
pretty
us all.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a
Probably.
good way
Who
to
went
decide.
outside most recently?
Well, I was gonna say
Oh, I
who
went to my car just before.
Just now? Okay, so
Yeah.
you
has
were
most
recent.
recently listened to Every Rose Has Its Thorn by
would
the
I
band
remember that?
Poison.
How the frick? I remember exactly when the last time I listened to that.
September
Poison
8th, 1992.
song. Yeah, and every time I hear that opening lick, I run away into the ocean so I don't hear it.
I try not to go outside.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was outside
Just in
last
general.
at around 1.
I was probably around noon. I went to
Okay.
go get lunch.
And were you
Like
before that?
7 a.m.
Okay, you stayed
Wow.
inside all day.
Dang.
for you.
Very good at inside.
So
All right.
guess
Well,
it was me.
yeah. Do you want to go first, or do you want us to go in reverse order?
Might as well. I'll
Do it.
I'll
Do
it.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
the initiation
um,
begins.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about a little bit the history of forensic medicine a little bit.
Okay.
Ooh.
Today, most time, courtrooms, things, medical examiner comes in, everyone's like, CSI, this person is going to know all the stuff. They're the person we want to pay attention to. That didn't used to be the case at all. Like, up until 1918, they had medical examiners for a while, but at least in New York City, it was a position that the mayor gave to someone he liked. It was just a crony thing. And that was true through most of the country. You didn't have to be a doctor. You didn't have to have any credentials. Your job was to write death certificates. Occasionally, they called you into court just for, and they were a lot of times they were like drunks and randos, and who knows? Yeah,
we picked the drunks.
Yeah, totally. So, there was a lot of corruption in New York City, turn of the century, Tammany Hall problems, and the people finally sort of stood up and said, we got to fix this a little bit. And so they decided to have an actual test to become medical examiner. And so the people that were appointed were Dr. Chuck Norris.
Oh, shit.
And Dr. Alexander Gettler in 1918. And they were the most serious science dudes that could have been picked for this. Gettler was the kind of person that the second a new medication or poison hit the market, he would go down to the butcher's shop and buy 3 pounds of liver and then chock them full of all the stuff and then try to do as many tests as he could to figure out what was the smallest amount that he could detect by what process. Yeah.
I thought he was going to stick it in the liver and he's going to like feed it to a dog.
Yeah, I was like, and then he ate it.
No, they did do dog studies on various things, but it was more to determine stuff like how much chloroform can be in a person before they would die and stuff like that. Because all of these things, there had been little bits of research done here and there, but no one had really done a lot of hard work on it. And tons of stuff was chock full of poison. You could get all sorts of crazy poisons just at the drugstore. Crazy rat poisons were available to everybody. They were fumigating with cyanide. Hydrogen cyanide was used to fumigate houses and buildings. And they ran into problems early on where, because there had been such a long history of people not believing medical examiners had any kind of authority, there was this case where this couple was found in their apartment dead. Looked like cyanide poisoning because they were all crumpled up and awful. And but they couldn't find, there wasn't any cyanide in their apartment. The door was locked. There wasn't any food anywhere or anything. And so they asked all the people at the building. They were like, no, we hadn't fumigated at all. And they did the autopsies, took out the lungs, and they found, there was cyanide in their lungs. And then they went back and they were like, oh, well, I guess we did fumigate. When it went to trial, the landlords hired their own counter kind of experts that said that all the tests that they had done were, that's bad science. Right. No one can tell these things. These aren't real things. And so the people got off. Like they didn't get, they didn't go to prison.
Fumigated their own people.
Yeah, totally. Man. And it happened like all the time.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So these folks, like after a few years of doing lots of tests and working really hard, they were finally the people that got forensic medicine to be a thing that was recognized with rigorous study and stuff until they finally were able to start winning cases and proving all their stuff.
So forensic medicine is it's not like specific to somebody being dead already.
No,
it's just
forensic in this case means dealing with the law.
Okay.
So you could be a forensic entomologist and look at when beetles were found on a corpse, but you could also be the person who goes into a grain silo to prove if the weevils were in the silo or if they were in the cereal boxes in the store. Right. That's also forensic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a very specific example. That makes me feel as if you knew a lot about that before. It's like
Ceri knows a lot about everything.
I did a lot of entomology in undergrad. Yeah.
Cool. I had not thought about where the weevil might come from. But it is important to know, I imagine.
Yeah, totally.
Neat. Yeah. I had a sort of a similar, like the opposite story was one of the ones that I read about a woman who was convicted of poisoning her child with antifreeze. Anybody come across?
I saw the headline.
Yeah. And it turned out that her child had a genetic disease that just produced basically the same chemical inside of the child, and they didn't find out soon enough. But she went to jail right after having given birth to another child who had the same disorder. That child was then adopted to another family. They were able to save that child, but then figured out that that baby had this same disease. So they let the lady out of prison and gave her child back.
Whoa.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nuts.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
So like that the child was poisoning itself with antifreeze.
That's
basically.
messed up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, that's not the one I chose. Yeah, because it's not actually about poison. It's kind of a
It's
poison.
kinda.
You can
Yeah,
Can you poison
self-poisoning.
yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
you
it a
can,
poison
You
if
can't. You
if
definitely
your body
can.
makes it?
I
but
don't
also,
know.
Yeah.
You definitely can poison yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It also makes me think about like your thing
Mhm.
about like what kinds of things in 200 years, if we make it,
We
what
had a
kinds of
conversation
things will
before
be
the
like,
podcast
sure.
started.
man, in 2017 they were, chewing bubble gum or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Those
no,
dummies.
There's always those talks about that various cell phone
Yeah.
things are like very long-term experiments
Mm.
because we only know this
We're
amount of
definitely
time.
doing a
how-
long-term experiment on
Yeah.
ourselves right now
Yeah,
with regards
totally.
to cell phone use.
Yeah.
I think it's sugar. I think 100%.
Oh, yeah.
50 years from now,
that's a
people will
good
be
point.
like, do you believe that they would buy 2 liters?
They had
of
a
Coca-Cola?
fucking holiday where all their kids ran around collecting poison.
We have a whole season.
Yeah, 3
We
of
have
them a year,
candy
really.
season.
We do have candy
It
season.
goes from
That's true.
Halloween to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Mm,
that's
Yeah, it's
true.
all the
You're
way
right.
through. And
Yeah.
Easter is Easter after Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, Easter
So,
is
yeah.
like
man.
the
Halloween
third
to
half
Easter.
the year.
That's more
Yeah.
than half the.
It's just
Yeah.
candy season. We just
We
got to
can-
get ourselves
We got to
through the
figure out
winter.
how to get candy in July. Like, we got to figure out a 4th of July
No,
candy
we don't
can
need
all
candy
get
in July
around.
because the sun's out.
Mhm.
We just eat hot dogs.
Much better.
Yeah, I do worry. Like, I wonder about hot dogs. Like, what do the hot dog people do in the winter when nobody's grilling?
Oh,
Do they just
I
save
mean-
up the hot dogs?
I think
Well, they're
people
making
still-
all the rest of the meat that they don't put in the hot dog.
Yeah.
It's everything else. And then in
yeah.
summer, they have that
They
all
put it all
left
in the
over.
hot dog.
and
save
they-
all the meat through the winter.
Perfect.
I always microwave my hot dogs.
I like my.
I
grilled
never
hot dogs.
grill them.
I like it. I like it both ways.
Not a griller.
It's
so.
definitely less cleanup to microwave.
Yeah,
mhm.
Yeah.
that's what I'm into.
But sometimes they explode.
That's fine.
You got to pork them with a fork. Poke them with a fork.
Poke-
Pork
Poke 'em with a fork.
Pork them with a fork, everybody. Is it my turn?
Sure. I mean, I could tell you more about random 1920s poison cases, but
Maybe it will come up.
it might.
Save it.
Yeah.
Save it. All right, you guys. There are so many ways into this one. I did not know how to go. So, cows.
good.
Occasionally, you injure them in the course of having a cow. You're
Mhm.
like, well,
Don't
you know,
have a cow.
yes, you don't have a cow. Good. It's good to
No.
hear. Don't have one. But if you have a cow, you will probably hurt it intentionally. You might cut its balls off and make it a steer. You might cut its. This is not for a cow, but for a bull. You
Mhm.
might cut its horns off, even if it is a cow.
Hmm.
And that also is a procedure that can
Yep.
result in.
That has a name.
That's no
What is
fun.
it called?
Polling.
What?
Polling.
Spell it.
I think POLE. If the
So
singular
polling.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
because like cows that are born naturally without horns, I think are polled.
Hmm.
That's the
Huh.
term.
Huh.
Because even lady cows have their horns. They have horns.
I think it depends on the breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So once upon a time, I'm not going to give you a time. It was like
Cool.
maybe 1900 or something, maybe 1920. These farmers, they were like, hey, we've got cows. Let's do our normal cow stuff. And they started doing the normal cow stuff, and the cows fucking died. So they
Oh.
like take the nuts off the cow, and the cow just bled until it died. They take the horns off the cow just bled until it died.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not know what was happening for a long time. But science happened. I apologize for not having all my facts straight, but I closed the tab, and so now I just have the Wikipedia article, which is less specific than the article I was reading. And so eventually they found that that they were eating sweet clover, which is a thing that is perfectly normal and very good. Cows love it. It's called sweet clover because it smells sweet, not because it tastes sweet. But it had sort of gotten a little rotten. And what it had gotten rotten with was a fungus. And the fungus was turning one of the molecules in the sweet clover, which is actually the thing that makes it smell sweet, called coumarin, into something else. And that something else was a molecule that inhibited the cow's ability to create vitamin K, and that inhibited their ability to create blood clotting factors. And that meant that when they got poked, they just kept bleeding until they died. Wow. So that's the first step of the story. Second step of the story, somebody's like, well, let's try, like, this is the very beginnings of organic chemistry. They're like, let's try to replicate this molecule so we can figure out exactly what it is. They replicate the molecule, and then they make a tiny, tiny amount of it. They feed it to some mice. The mice get blood disorders and die. Then they figure out how to make more and more of it, and they're like, this is a really good way of killing mice, it turns out. So they turn it into a rodent killer.
Okay, of course. Yep.
And so they turn it into rat poison. They use it for rat poison for a long, long time until 1950-something. Really specific, but you're not going to fucking remember anyway. It's 1950-something. A guy in the army is feeling super down, tries to kill himself by eating a bunch of this rat poison. They take him to the hospital and they give him vitamin K. And this is another thing. Like, poisons have antidotes. I always thought that was kind of a magical mystery, like just a made-up thing, that poisons have antidotes. But in this case, what this poison does is it prevents your body from creating vitamin K. And so if you give the body vitamin K, it's okay again. So you just have to keep giving vitamin K until the poison leaves the system. So there are antidotes. So this was a known antidote to this poison. They give him vitamin K and he's okay. And then they're like, well, wait a second. So this actually, we were able to, like he ate a lot of this stuff and he was okay. Like he wasn't like fine, but he survived. So he had a whole lot of rat poison, and they discover that indeed it can be a really good thing to thin people's blood if they have clotting disorders or if they've had recent heart attacks. And so they go from cows bleeding out their balls to death to Coumadin, which is one of the most prescribed medications in America. It was first prescribed in the 1950s. One of the first people who got it was President Eisenhower after he had a heart attack. And it's also called warfarin, which was the brand name of the rat poison.
Yeah.
Is it Wayfarin?
Warfarin is how it's pronounced according to this on the Wikipedia page. Worf, like Lieutenant Commander of the Enterprise. So that's how we got warfarin.
Huh. Can I just say, holy fucking science.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing as like digitalis.
I don't think so.
It just does a similar thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, there's a few blood thinners out there, but it's one of the big ones. And it's called Coumadin after Coumarol and warfarin. Yeah. Put them together.
Crazy.
Yeah. And now it's generic and you can buy it for $25. If your doctor tells you can. You can't just go to the store and get some.
Weird.
But they do not have it as rat poison anymore. Probably so that people will pay the $25 instead of just getting the $2.50 rat poison.
So is the thing.
Which is a thing people are doing now.
Buying rat
Have you heard about this? No, they're like fish. Like sorry. I'm going into uncharted territory here, unresearched for the last 2 weeks. People are buying antibiotics that are made for other animals because antibiotics made for people are too expensive. So their doctor prescribes them some antibiotics, and instead they just order fish antibiotics off the internet. One guy died recently because he took cow antibiotics, which turns out
heard about that
are a little bit stronger than human antibiotics because of how they're like 8 or 10 times bigger than humans.
Yeah.
Which the thing I've heard though is that for most medications, body weight actually doesn't matter, which I think is weird because you would expect body weight, or I expected body weight.
Yeah, you would think.
Why doesn't it?
I don't know.
It might be that it's more about your metabolism than it is about how much body you have. And so it might make more sense to say like, well, a person in their 20s metabolizes things much faster than a person in their 80s.
Oh, sure.
I have to go into the doctor every month to make sure that I continue to metabolize my medicine at the same rate.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I could get really sick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know it is a weird thing with people who do exotic animals that like a great big house cat and a bobcat of the same size, you can't give them the same medication. They do metabolize things differently. I know that it's particularly a problem with if they put them under for a surgery. The anesthetic can be, that's why if you have a weird exotic animal, if it goes in, it might not come unless you have a really good exotic vet who's done it before.
That's actually a similar thing. They tell, like, we were supposed to, when we had a greyhound, we were supposed to tell the anesthesiologist that like just so you know, greyhounds are different. Are you aware that greyhounds are different? I don't know. We had to say that every time we took Lemon in to get like a surgery, which was more than one time. And they'd be like, "Yep, greyhounds are different." I don't know why, but apparently they are.
It's a code.
Yeah. It's like, dude, if you didn't know greyhounds are different, look it up.
They're
look
different.
Look at the book.
Google it right now.
Before you cut my dog open.
I want that just to be like a coupon code. Like you go in with a certain pet and you're like, greyhounds are different. Wink.
Free shipping, boy. Anybody got any other questions about warfarin? Because I probably don't know the answer. Don't, make sure you know what your cows are eating before you cut their balls off.
Good to know.
Just not going to have cows, I think.
It was something like 21 of 22 of the cows died.
Oh, that'd be rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
That's
your livelihood, man.
Yeah, it's your livelihood. It's probably not great for the cows either.
No, true.
It's
They're dead.
It's like I was having a really bad day to start with, and now I'm dead.
Yeah, plus like the pools of blood too, because it's a blood thinner, so they would just it'd be so messy.
Yeah.
So that's where your blood thinner came from. It's all thanks to some dead cows and a guy in the army who tried to kill himself.
Thanks.
And also some scientists.
Yeah, just a couple. This is good to follow yours because mine is kind of similar. It's a poison that we discovered that has a weird use now. So, and it has been in probably most of our eyes at one point.
Oh, what's been in my eyes?
I mean, a lot of things have been in my eyes.
Whoa!
I have diseased eyes. So.
He's tried everything. What else can I put in here to try to fix my eyes? Just beer.
Oh, I haven't tried beer yet.
Something that's been in my eyes.
If I don't come into work tomorrow.
Because you're blind.
Yeah, you were eye vaping beer.
Yeah, very literal beer goggles.
Eye vaping?
The vapor sphere?
Yeah, like
into the eye.
Into the eye.
God.
Just blow that alcohol straight on your eyeball. I'm sure that feels good.
Well, this poison is called atropine.
I think I've heard of that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's probably something you've heard of. I think we've mentioned it before at some point.
I think they use it in the movie The Rock.
I've never seen the movie The Rock.
Nicolas Cage.
Tuna's really unhappy about this.
Sorry,
unhappy. Did I? Oh, okay. I was like, did I get it wrong? I'm pretty sure this is what Nicolas Cage injects into his heart.
Oh.
When he's exposed to a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's entirely possible.
Whoa. Okay.
So it was originally used in the 16th century. Italian women would use drops of atropine, which came from deadly nightshade berries, to dilate their pupils.
Was it belladonna?
Yeah. So it comes from the plant Atropa, I think, belladonna. And dilated pupils were seen as apparently an attractive thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Oh, yeah, it looks like anime eyes.
Yeah, anime eyes, but like 16th century anime eyes before anime was a thing.
They just draw them or something?
No, apparently not. You just need those big dark circles to stare into the void in someone else's face.
Hank is watching the scene from The Rock right
now. It's true. Anyway, sorry, atropine, making your eyes look big.
Making your eyes look big. And it does this by blocking acetylcholine receptors. So acetylcholine, it's a neurotransmitter. It's released by nerve cells, and the receptors are on muscle cells. And basically, it sets off a pathway that causes your muscle cells to constrict and contract. So when you drop it in your pupils, what it does is atropine blocks the receptor part of it, So even though acetylcholine is being released, like no signal happens and your muscles can't contract. So your pupils are just like yoink.
I will
stay really
say
wide.
that these Victorian
16.
something.
16.
You said
Oh,
16.
way before
That's
Victoria.
Victoria.
Okay,
I think they
these-
also used
it's-
it in the Victorian.
Yeah,
think
so
you
these
could loosely
ladies had
Renaissance
something here because I have read stories that pupil dilation does connect with attractiveness, and also your pupils will dilate when you see someone you are attracted to, which is
Mhm.
like a signal to other people.
Huh.
Yeah, I've read that too. I don't know
Weird.
how real that is.
Okay,
But-
I trust your bullshit sniffer.
Oh, I don't know. I think my bullshit sniffer is like fake unless proven true by some reason.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah,
default
that's probably
position.
Yeah.
not too
place.
bad.
So,
Yeah.
psychology of attractiveness.
Mhm.
Check it out on SciShow's Psych at some point. And so because it can block acetylcholine receptors, it can do a whole bunch of bad things. It can, for some reason, make your heart beat really fast. And I was trying to figure out the mechanism behind it. And then I decided to do my normal work instead. And so I never figured it out. But I'm guessing it just like messes with the way your muscles depolarize. And it can inhibit your salivary glands, which is why like dry mouth or you stop sweating when this happens for some reason. And it can lead to seizures and all kinds of bad stuff if you get atropine poisoned. But it is also the antidote for another poison, which is a nerve gas, like sarin.
That's the
why.
one
Yeah.
in the rock.
That's
the one
why
in the
Nicolas
rock.
Cage shot himself in the heart with
Uh-huh.
an atropine because
Well-
he got poisoned with sarin gas.
That's it. And it's,
I don't know if he measured out the dose very carefully,
he
but
just kind of like
yep.
in. But yeah, and I thought that was really weird because you're being poisoned by this very horrible thing, and then
Yeah.
it's just like I'm going to inject
Yeah.
more
Extra
poison in
poison.
myself.
But so in that case, is it just balancing it out, and so you're just neutral?
Yeah, what you're
Okay.
doing is you're basically so the poison sarin gas works also interferes with acetylcholine, but what it does is sarin and other nerve gases, the molecule is in such a shape that there's an enzyme that breaks down acetylcholine normally, so you can like rush of acetylcholine, it makes your muscles do their thing, it gets broken down, and then your muscles have time to recharge, and then like that cycle goes back and forth again and again. But sarin blocks that enzyme, so acetylcholine never gets broken down. So you just have like a bunch of acetylcholine floating around in your system, and your muscles are just keep going and going and going and going
Yeah.
until you wear yourself out, and you never get a chance to reset.
And then you just stop being able to, like, your lungs
yeah.
don't work anymore.
Yeah, your
Like
lungs.
your diaphragm stops diaphragming.
Yeah, your heart
not a
stops
fun way to
hearting, your
go.
diaphragm starts diaphragming, and it's
Yeah.
just like
All
it's
of
sad.
those things.
It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
And so what it does is by blocking the receptors, even though you have all this extra acetylcholine floating around, you block the receptors so they can't send a signal anymore.
So it lets you relax for a bit.
Yeah, so it lets you relax for a second. And the way all this stuff is happening on a molecular level, it's all probability. So things are binding and unbinding and hitting each other and
Yeah.
not. So all those pauses in between gives your muscles enough time to like recharge and then fire again and recharge.
Huh.
And do it. And then usually, apparently, when you inject atropine to resist against nerve gases, then you also inject another chemical called pralidoxime, I think, or something else that can bind to the nerve gas molecules and just make it like a lump so that it can't
Right.
interact with the enzyme anymore, and you can flush it out of your system. So it's like a two-part.
Yeah.
I don't know if Nicolas Cage put that in his heart
maybe,
too.
Maybe it was just a preloaded syringe that had
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of it in there.
Oh,
I don't
it
remember.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so are we talking about why it's in my eyes? Because I've got a guess.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you can guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, it's just
yeah,
when you
just
go to the
when
eye
when I
doctor
get
and
my
they dilate.
so
your
next time I
eyes.
get my pupils dilated, I can be like, let me tell you all about my friend Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I'm sure your eye doctor would love it. I think there are other chemicals that they use now in modern eye drops. Like there are several ways, but atropine is one of them that
Okay.
can be
I'll
there.
ask, is it atropine? Can
Yeah.
you inject it into my heart in case I get sarin gas poisoning right now in the middle of the mall?
Oh, man. Or next time you get it done, you can just do it up and like wear a Jacobean ruff and like you're
Yeah.
like, oh
And then I'll have
Looking-
these big,
looking
open,
good
beautiful
now.
eyes.
Yeah. Go back to Catherine and just be like,
Hey,
notice anything
take
different?
off my weird film glasses that go over my glasses.
Uh-huh.
And we're like,
Yep.
let's watch an Amazon
It's
original
something
series.
really dark. It's very sensitive.
Yeah, Amazon original series and chill doesn't have the same ring to it.
No.
20 syllables.
Oh. Amazon Prime Video and
Amazon-
chill. That's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
Okay. Because you can't just say Amazon and chill, because then it's like shopping.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna get some cat litter and
Go online shopping.
smooch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I don't
could if you've got those like, what do they call them? The like
The
dash
buttons?
buttons.
Yeah.
Just put them next to the
Mhm.
bed, and then you're like,
We're
Amazon and chill.
Get so tied.
I was accidentally at a friend's house and I hit their dash button
Oh,
a couple
no.
times because I thought it was the light for the kitchen.
Oh,
no. So first
Assume
of all,
that happens all
you were
the time.
accidentally at a friend's house?
What? Yeah, you know, I put that adverb in the wrong place in the sentence. Intentionally at a friend's house, accidentally hit the button.
Yeah. I was accidentally at a friend's house, but I meant to buy 8 boxes of Tide for them.
Yeah. I think it was paper towels, maybe.
Wow.
I mean, you can't have too many paper towels.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Mhm.
They'll go through it.
Mhm.
Did it work? And it ordered paper towels.
I think because I pushed it twice, they got a notification like, "Did you mean to do this?"
Oh.
Or was it a child?
Yeah, or was it like?
Was it?
Yes, was it
Yeah.
a 20-year-old child?
Try to turn the lights
really
on
don't.
and buying paper towels.
Yeah.
I don't get those buttons.
I think it's really cool.
Just
I don't have any.
Just go,
Yeah.
like, just go on your computer and
No,
order-
man. Every moment counts. It's all about efficiency.
I guess I'm on my computer all the time anyway.
it takes forever to
Right
order
there.
paper towels on Amazon. It's like a click and a half.
Oh man.
It's like a click,
Mhm.
maybe 2.
I feel like I've wasted so much time going to the
That's fair.
store.
Mhm.
Oh, I love going to the store, though. It's never a waste of time to go to the food farm. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
I had
Just
a
walking
friend.
around stores. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I had a friend who programmed a pizza button on the room of their wall, so they could just like hit it, and then it went through some API for an app and ordered them.
It's like a
pizza.
Raspberry Pi thing, or
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
So that like saved them.
Why
a significant
doesn't
amount of time.
Why doesn't Domino's do that?
don't know.
Domino's should have a pizza button.
Yeah.
Now that I actually do, I understand the button for pizza.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Paper towels, nah.
There should be a button for pizza, but maybe like, should it be more than just a button? Because it doesn't cost that much to make these things anymore. So it could be like you hit the pizza button, and then you hit like what toppings you want, and then you hit the pizza button.
Now it's
again.
getting
I
complicated.
feel like it has to be an emergency thing. Like you have it under like a little plastic thing.
Right,
And then
so you
when,
can't
when you pull out dinner
accidentally-
and it looks horrible, you just
Pizza.
push the button.
Yep.
Let's just go watch TV and
Yeah.
cry.
Oh
until
man,
the
no, it
pizza
should be
gets
glass
here.
and there should be a tiny hammer.
I mean, if the marketing department at Amazon at Domino's has not thought of this yet, like we just made them millions of dollars.
Mhm.
This is like legitimately a very
We
good
should
idea.
patent this.
Yeah, we can
A
do
pizza
it.
button.
I feel like it's not that hard to do.
It's
Some-
easy to do. I don't think
yeah.
it's easy to patent. I think that it would be
Yeah.
a difficult patent to get. But no, like I don't know. Maybe we could start up a company really fast and have Domino's buy us.
Mhm.
I don't think that they're like super flush right now, though.
You could also try to get
I don't
better
know.
pizza for this button.
Is Domino's having a hard time? Domino's is my number one for pizza delivery.
Don't tell Stefan. I don't know. I have
Oh
no
my
idea.
God.
I had Domino's recently, and I was actually pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I
Get out of here
enjoyed
with
it.
your fake Domino news. Get out of here.
Oh, man.
Going back to your thing for half a second.
The poison.
Oh, right.
Not
Very
even the poison.
Oh.
You mentioned muscle depolarization.
I did.
What does that mean?
This is the part of molecular bio that is fuzzy in my head. I think what it is so
Just the one part.
just the one.
This is the only thing.
This is everything is fuzzy. I have an approximate knowledge of many things. So acetylcholine binds to a receptor, and that opens an ion channel, and calcium, I think, floods into a muscle, and that calcium enables the actin and myosin filaments to like walk along and
Uh-huh.
contract all at once. And then when that closes, when the acetylcholine's gone, then the muscle cell pumps out calcium again, back into like the extracellular fluid.
And so you have like a basically the cell is charged. So there's a charge inside the cell that's different from the charge outside the cell, which creates an ion potential which you can use to do stuff with.
Yes.
And so if it's depolarized, that differential doesn't exist anymore. Which means that it can't do its thing.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, can we use that chemical to create a bodybuilding supplement? And so we can start a company. This button thing might not work out here. So I'm trying to come up with some other ideas, some other avenues.
I feel like I've heard like acetylcholine talked about in muscle supplements.
I don't know.
Choline? You would know.
I've never heard of acetylcholine in bodybuilding supplements. No.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's just Domino's.
So like,
this is just pizza.
Use a poison to just be like, work out your muscles without working out anything.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Tell me when science gets there.
Where's the chemical that lets me work out while I'm sleeping?
Yeah.
Well, there's the crazy little electro
so hard.
doodad.
Those are stupid.
Unlike this.
This is a great idea. There's one myostatin inhibitor.
Look at it, acetylcholine supplements. Look at it. It's got the font that makes me feel like this is definitely for dudes. It's called Alpha Brain.
Wait, so
it's for memory and focus. It's not for the muscles.
So it's about getting your brain.
But look at that
swole.
font, though. That makes
damn it.
That makes me feel like it's definitely for dudes.
I don't care about my brain, Tank.
That guy's wearing his hat backwards.
Yeah.
I need freakish triceps.
Your triceps are lovely.
They're not freakish.
Oh man, such problems.
So on the Reddit, I don't know if it was on the front page. It was on my front page yesterday.
Yeah,
there was a video of a guy who had the headline was like, "Guy with freakish high triceps sings happy birthday to his daughter."
Oh my God.
And it's like literally that, and all of his videos are like the same thumbnail of him like flexing.
That's his one thing.
It's pretty great.
It's his tricep.
Are you looking?
Is he flexing the whole video?
Yes.
Of
yes.
course.
Like the angle is primarily focused on his arm.
Wow. I'd like to think all his family photos are probably like that too.
I can't imagine they're not.
I'm upset by the fact that I was not able.
It.
I was not able to find this immediately.
This is underground shit.
The dark
it's
web.
not mainstream yet.
My triceps are really not freakish.
You gotta try that Alpha Brain.
They're aggressively below average.
I don't know if that's true.
What?
Aggressively below average.
Where is it? Where is it, Stefan? Where's my triceps?
It's right there. I feel it. I feel some firmness. It's good. It's good. You do Pilates.
Then we do some tricep stuff in there, but it's mostly core, to be clear.
Yeah.
And that's not stuff that you can see.
That's important
you
stuff.
can't like look at the core and be like,
stabilizing the trunk.
Look at his ripped core. But it's there. It's in there.
Yeah.
It's in there. I got all that. And like sometimes I almost fall down and I catch myself and I'm like,
that's what
Pilates just saved me from maybe something bad happening.
When you're 80, you still need to tie your shoes. You need a core to like get down there.
Anyway, boy, what's your
I don't know.
What's your topic? Because it's already 6 o'clock. I don't know how this happened.
I'm good at derailing things.
You are. Freakish triceps.
So for an episode about poisons, I wanted to talk about things that seemed poisonous but weren't actually. So things that you can eat that you would think that you shouldn't be able to eat.
I'd like to think that the research was you just going through your house.
Yeah, did you just
he
was like, oh, this magnet was a bad idea.
Disclaimer. These are not poisonous, but Holy Fucking Science does not recommend that any viewers taste any of these things. You may end up with a similar thing that is actually toxic. Okay. Check with your physicians. Check with your I don't know.
Your rabbis?
I don't know. Check with anyone. Be supervised. Get some atropine.
No, don't get
sure. I don't know. So on the list of things, which this one is not surprising. So we'll start very mundane. Is paper. Like you can eat paper. It's not a food. But like, really,
one of the first things my son ate was paper. Like other than breast milk, he had like
Atropine.
he had breast milk and like
And
rice
paper.
cereal and paper.
Oh
How
my
did
God.
he eat the paper?
He found a Post-it note and he
Oh.
ate it.
It's got adhesives.
He ate it and he ate that Post-it note and I was like, "What is in your mouth right now?" And it was a Post-it note and I was like, went to grab it out of his mouth and then I had nothing and there was nothing in there
Gross.
anymore and I was like, "Well,
We're
okay,
fine.
I
Were
guess
there-
we'll talk about that with Catherine."
Were there
after
baby secrets
he's not
on
dead.
the note?
What?
Were there baby secrets on the note? Is he in some baby spy ring? And he saw you coming?
yeah. There was a baby secret, and he had to
Oh
eat,
my
eat
God.
the evidence. That was
Uh-huh.
totally what
Oh
it
man.
was.
But so paper itself it's just sort of like fiber, like non-digestible.
Yeah.
You know, helps keep you regular, whatever. I don't know if that's true. Uh,
I think so.
Probably though. 'cause
Probably.
It's cellulose. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
similar thing.
Yeah.
So, but the ink in paper is not great for you. So, don't, graph paper or like, if you've written on the paper or things are printed on it, not great.
Mm-hmm.
But paper itself, that's fine. You can eat that. Okay, so the next thing
Yeah, what can we eat, Stefan?
that doesn't really seem like you should be able to eat this, but you can, is tanned hides. So like leather.
like my shoes.
Oh, sure.
Hold up.
Whoa.
Hold your horses, Papa Pipes. Back up. So apparently, according to this article, Native Americans used to do this when times were tough. They would
I heard that
dig
about
into
the
the
Irish
leather.
potato famine too. That they would eat their shoes.
yeah.
Hmm.
And it's like you have to like boil it for a while
Sure.
to get it digestible.
Seems like
I guess,
you shouldn't
but
though, because like a lot of weird stuff goes in, but maybe it all comes
Yes,
out.
I don't know.
Mhm.
But so modern leather is treated with a lot of
right.
random
Yeah.
stuff that you actually don't want to eat. So
Sure.
Okay.
Huh.
I shouldn't
if
eat
you-
my shoes.
yeah. Well,
No.
just go.
I wouldn't
Get the
anyway because
local-
like per
if you-
calorie,
organic-
extremely expensive.
Although,
Well,
if,
that's
like,
also true. Yes.
If Earl Morris makes a bet with you, then you have to eat it,
Who
like
the fuck
Werner
is
Herzog did.
Earl Morris?
Yeah, the Oh, you
The
yeah, the documentarian. Like, he was
Earl
friends.
Morris.
He did Fog of War and
He's
that
like
does sound familiar now.
and Fast, Cheap, and Out of Control and The Thin Blue Line and everything.
basically like Ken Burns, but not.
Not at all.
Not as good.
But yeah, he had worked with Werner Herzog on a few different things, and he was always talking about making films. And Werner Herzog said, "If you actually make this film, I will eat my shoe."
Ah.
And he made
I've
the
heard that
film,
story.
and so Werner Herzog ate his shoe at the premiere.
Wow.
Wow.
Did he
Yeah.
boil it
Was it a
first?
leather
Yeah,
shoe?
Les Blanc made a film about
Can
a
you
short
eat
film.
other
about
A
shoes?
it.
short film about him eating a shoe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Meta bullshit. I love it. These
Nice
pretentious
meta
assholes
bullshit.
are great.
It's awesome.
I love it. Werner Herzog eating his own shoe.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what else can I eat, Stefan?
So apparently you can eat crayons. This seems
They're non-toxic.
This seems so weird.
Can you just eat like candles? Because I,
I
feel
don't.
like a
I
crayon
don't know.
is basically
Crayons,
just
it's
a colored candle.
wax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess so.
Can I eat a candle? Google.
Yeah, Google it.
Siri, can I eat a candle?
And I feel like maybe parents know these things more because they buy this shit. But
Parent.
I don't know. How
Too
he's
young.
Not, he's
Too
not
young.
candles, yes.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've used crayons and
Mhm.
other school supplies.
Medline Plus says candles are made out of wax. Candle poisoning occurs when someone swallows candle wax. This can happen by accident or on purpose.
Huh.
This article is not information. Is for information only. Do not use it to treat or manage actual poison exposure.
Yeah, this podcast is for information only. Do not eat any of the things that I'm telling you you can
wonder
eat.
the accidental ingestion of candles. I assume that's you have a bowl of wax fruit, and someone was like, "Oh."
My first thought
then
was
you
like,
gotta spit it
you're
out.
trying to have a sexy time
I
and you
thought
like
sexy
pour
time
hot
candles,
wax
too.
and then it's like, it's in my mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bigger problem, which is all the hot wax in your mouth. Oh, remember these lips? The lips.
Wait, what?
With the wax
Oh,
lips.
yeah.
You put those wax
Yeah.
lips in your mouth and you
Oh.
were okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
I remember
don't know.
those, and they would get soft as you had them in your
I
mouth.
never
and
had
then-
'em,
Yeah, it didn't
so
taste
I
like
did
anything,
not
but
have
it didn't.
experience with
I didn't get poisoned.
So you can eat fucking crayons.
Hey, this person on Quora says nothing. You'll poop it out. It can't be digested.
But if you eat too
Retired general internist, former intensive care physician.
Oh, there you go.
Cheers.
with all of this stuff,
Yeah.
if you eat too much, like you're
right.
Like
So-
if you eat any of it, you're looking at probably stomach aches.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if you eat too
don't-
much, like blockages, like that's
So
it's
Yeah,
not
and
good.
like don't go to Yankee Candle and just eat the shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot
Those
in
are
there.
expensive.
And I assume the
That's
weird
the main
smell
reason.
stuff.
Yeah,
put
they
in
have
it
like
is
maple though,
probably
and I'm
bad.
like, ooh, maple, like maple syrup, because I like that. I'll
Put this on my pancakes.
Oh.
What else can I eat?
Chalk.
Oh,
So, like-
sure,
Weird.
yeah, chocolate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
completely
fucking
inert.
calcium.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
If you have a
Calcium carbonate,
deficiency,
yeah.
just munch on some chalk while you're doing a little sidewalk art. No problem.
Just grind it up, put it in your smoothie.
Put it in. You know, I do like a chalky smoothie.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
When I go to Jamba
No.
Juice, which we don't have in Missoula yet, I'm talking to you, Jamba. Come on down.
Make a button so I can.
I need a Jamba button. Drone delivery? Is that a thing yet? What was I even saying? Oh,
Chalky.
I get like
Papa pipes?
3 times the protein boost
Oh,
because
yeah.
it makes it chalky. And I'm
Oh,
like,
you get a bunch it so that you can get those pipes.
well, yeah, you also have to work out to get the
You can't just eat
You
a bunch
can't
of
just
food.
have Jamba Juice.
Okay.
Yeah. So chalk. But the one that I was most surprised by, and again, this is the one I feel like people are going to be like, you didn't know this, but so Elmer's school glue
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure.
is like, I mean, like a
It's
lot of
just
people seem to know that it is a
flour,
non-toxic thing, but to me, like you're eating glue. Like what? How the fuck is that not?
Well, it's good.
It's petroleum based. It's so weird.
So is candles.
It's so
Vaseline?
weird.
And
yeah.
Vaseline and lots of food dyes.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
most of a chicken nugget.
I do love chicken nuggets.
Well, you
I'm
really
kidding.
shouldn't eat
kidding.
chicken nuggets. Those are poisonous.
No,
Get
they're
off
delicious.
my business.
Ooh, 2 versus
Chicken
1.
nuggets are one of the best foods, and I think they're one of the.
This is.
I was talking
Mm-hmm.
to somebody who was high up at McDonald's, and they said to
What
me,
are you
as a way of defending McDonald's,
Is this how you
being-
use your fame?
a way of defending McDonald's, like being pretty healthy. They were like, one of our most popular items is one of our lowest calorie items, which is the 6-piece chicken nuggets, and people get that as a full meal, which is a completely normal amount of calories for a full meal.
I do not get the 6 for full meal.
So
I
Ceri
get like 20 or 30.
likes. Yeah, the burger
30
Burger
chicken
King.
McNuggets?
Wasn't
I
it? Isn't it 40 for $5 at Burger King? Isn't
Yes,
that what you were telling
it's
me?
like 40 for $5
Yeah.
at Burger King.
What? I've never had a Burger King chicken nugget. I don't go to
McDonald's are
Burger King because
better.
they put sesame seeds on fucking everything.
Whoa.
McDonald's chicken nuggets are better than Burger King, but I live closer to Burger King.
Yeah.
Uh,
McDonald's is on my way home, so
Mm.
like,
it's
shit.
fucking 2 blocks further to McDonald's.
Let's fight about it.
Oh,
Mhm.
I've been having,
Wendy's
this is an
chicken nuggets are the
ongoing
best
argument.
chicken nuggets. Caitlin and me. Caitlin.
Whoa.
Say word.
Anyway.
What about Chick-fil-A? I mean,
Well,
they're
Chick-fil-A
garbage
isn't in
people,
Missoula, so it doesn't
but-
count, and they're also
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the only
Weird.
things. Those are the things that I have.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were gonna
I
get to
just-
like things people ate as stunts, like bicycles and stuff.
Yeah, there was that guy who ate a whole plane.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It's
What?
like-
Guy who ate
That's-
a
that's
plane.
some fake.
Like
like
it's
people
not.
that wanted to get some Guinness World Records were
His
just
name
like,
is
I'll eat
Michel
that.
Lotito, better known as Monsieur Mangetot, which apparently translates to Mr. Eats All.
Gosh.
Certainly lived up to his nickname. The Frenchman has eaten everything from bicycles, including the spokes, to an entire Cessna 150 airplane.
How long did it take him?
A while.
Just like
that's all. That's my
chewing
yeah.
on a plane.
That's all I got. It took him a while. He died in 2007, shortly after his 57th birthday.
See,
He died of natural causes, in
Yeah,
quotation marks. Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
imagine 9
Seen-
tons of metal that passed through his digestive system had nothing to do with his
took
passing.
some
Just
toll.
your typical
Typical,
50.
typical.
Yeah.
I've had 2 beers now.
Oh, wow.
57-year-old Frenchman with an appetite for airplanes and a digestive system that could handle a hard-boiled egg. Natural causes. Don't worry about it.
Could handle a hard-boiled egg.
I don't know. That's what it says in the article. Here at Tailgate
shell?
I
Fan.
feel like that's everyone.
Maybe with shell.
Literally everyone.
Yeah, did he pass? Wait. Let me see if he ate and passed an undigested hard-boiled egg.
How would you
Ooh.
not choke to
He
death?
had trouble eating, he had trouble eating hard-boiled eggs
Oh.
Oh.
and bananas.
Oh my
That-
God.
those
Too
those
normal.
upset his digestive system, and he was like, you know, I'd rather have a spoke.
These
Oh my
soft,
God.
soft
Rather-
mushy foods.
Yeah, I'd rather have a part of
How
this
does-
airplane's
did he-
window.
How Did he like puree
I don't know.
the metal?
I'm just imagining
Can
like
you?
But apparently,
How do you eat it?
apparently this was a thing that was not just for fun.
Seems like it
He
would
also
poke you.
he had that disease pica, which a medical condition that causes people to crave to eat things such as dirt, glass.
Gotcha.
He just turned it into his thing.
Yeah, and he made it his thing. He was like, I'm gonna lean into it.
I mean, that's fair. I just don't know how you survive.
Wear it like armor.
Yeah.
And no one can use it to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Wear your pica like
Just-
armor, Michel Lotito.
Mm-hmm. Stefan, I thought you were going to talk about the poison dart frogs, so I did not.
Poison dark frog. Oh,
Did you
no.
have a
I forget about the
conversation
poison
about
dark
that?
frog. What happened with the poison dark frog?
Don't eat it.
Oh,
Wait,
It
do you
has
eat
to
it?
be
Should I
eaten.
eat it?
You could eat some of them, probably.
yeah. Don't lick frogs.
Don't lick frogs.
Definitely don't eat frogs. We've been over that here on SciShow. No, on Helly Fucking Science before.
But there's a species of frog that gets its poison that it secretes because of beetles that it eats. And so when they're raised in captivity,
That's right.
they're not poisonous. So they're like dart frogs.
Did
but
I
not
tell you
poison.
that? Is that why you thought I was going to?
Yeah.
Okay. I
It's-
completely forgot about it.
Okay. And there's a bird
mean-
that does the same thing. So they have poisonous feathers.
That was
and
a
it's
really
only
good.
poisonous
That was at the
bird.
beginning of that. Was a really good flow. Like all of that.
What?
It was like
Like
you
a-
were rapping.
Oh.
It's good.
I was like, does he mean rapping? I don't believe that he means rapping. But then you did. What? What is this podcast?
I black out whenever I say something, so it's just like
you can't remember
secret.
what
I
happened.
can't remember it.
And
No,
it just comes out.
it's
okay.
That's what
Poetry.
happens.
We
yeah.
recorded it.
I know it's
Yeah.
good. I can go back and watch how
Yeah.
eloquent I was for the first time in my life. Amazing.
It's just it rhymed at the
Oh.
begging, and I was like, "Is she gonna keep going?"
Yeah.
She didn't.
I memorized this whole rap stuff, and then I thought that you were going to present on it, so I just internalized it. Couldn't do
Oh,
it.
she made a whole rap.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
For Holy Fucking Science. Thanks,
That'd be
everybody.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, this was a fun episode. Possibly just because I'm like looking
silly.
better, feeling better about
Ooh.
after 2
You're
beers
looking better.
about the headache that I've had for the last
Oh,
Oh,
last
yeah.
half a day.
I thought you were going to say
Last
about your
night-
triceps.
I also feel better about my triceps thanks to
They're
Stefan's
firm.
body
That's good.
They're
body
firm.
positivity.
Yeah. I feel here. Wait.
How do you flex a tricep?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just like.
I could do it like this too. It's a little.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more bicep though, but you can get the little bit of tricep activation. You know. There you go. There you go. I feel distinct heads here. This is good.
Can you count my tries? Are there 3 of
There's
them?
3.
Are there
There's
3
3.
steps?
Nice.
How many steps do I
Where's
have?
the 3 steps? Wow.
Thanks for being on Holy Fucking Science. It's been a
Maybe
pleasure.
only one beer next time.
I have a headache. It was a wonderful time. I'm Hank Green,
Stefan Chin.
Ceri Riley.
Sarah Suta.
and this has been
Holy Fucking Science.